I've always said, retention is the number one thing that gets you out of the hamster wheel.
I'm personally excited about this one, right? We're going to talk little social media. What does this mean kind of vibes? Instagram is starting to create different ways for creators to get paid on the platform, right? So they've been in the works. If those who's been on Instagram, you may see different ways like badges, in-stream ads, reels on how you can monetize some of your content. If not, we'll go more in depth about it. But now they're kind of facing what Patreon's doing and doing subscriptions, which I think is kind of fire. But let me show you what I mean by something I did. Hey, yo, Instagram update time. And we're talking about money. So Instagram is introducing subscription. And there's going to be 3 types. Let's talk about it. Here's the first one.
First is stories. So creators are going to be able to go live just to their subscribers. And you can get exclusive access to those stories. They'll be marked with a purple ring so you know that it's just for you.
Now, here are the other 2 ways.
The second is subscriber lives. So a creator can go live just to their subscribers. And the third is you'll get a subscriber badge, a little purple indicator, so the creator knows that you're a subscriber when they see you in comments, in DMs, or anywhere else across Instagram.
So now you could charge your followers a monthly fee to see exclusive content instead of going to Patreon and other platforms. What do you think about this? Comment below. So, I like this. I like this a lot because I'm always very happy for different ways to make money on a free platform. These are things that we were already doing. Now we can give a certain kind of incentive of, hey, you've been getting all this value. I got more stuff for you. And no one else is going to see it unless they're a subscriber, right? Now, this is funny because we brought up fan base last week, right? Which we got an announcement for that. I'll say it low-key later on, right? But Fanbase is a platform that allows you to monetize right away and do subscription. But here comes Instagram. Hear me? and Instagram is not playing. So you are able to create exclusive stories and lives for whatever price you want a month, whether it's from 0 to 100. Now, what they did say, which has been a big problem for other platforms that do this kind of subscription situation, is that you can actually take the contact list off of the platform, where other like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, you can't necessarily do that. You're like locked in for that. Now, it's great because as you're growing a following, it is a bit difficult. It's not impossible, but it is a bit difficult to get them off. You feel what I'm saying? Like, to get them off the platform, it is a bit hard. But now that there's going to be pretty much of a workflow of, let me get the followers, let me cater to them, nurture to them, and then let me offer them something of a really dope experience by them becoming a subscriber and giving them natural status, because with badges, with the subscriber badges, as long as they're subscribed, every single time they comment, they're going to have this like purple badge, which no one else has unless they're subscribers. Shout out to Lonnie, one of the people, because they only opened up for 10 creators. So he's one of them. And he was breaking it down to me, kind of just some of the ideas that he's going to have and things like that. But he has it, and he's already starting like, yo, I'm going to go little bit more personal into my life. You're going to see my writing process because he's a comedian. You're going to see all into my world. And so I subscribed just to understand the process. It was very smooth. You buy right on the app, right? Just like how you buy badges. And I got access to his stories right away. And I got the badge, and it definitely made me feel like I stand out of all his thousands of comments that he gets, you know? So I think this is going to be really good for people who are trying to grow a brand on Instagram, because it allows you to continue to create a really dope experience on the platform. And if they are true, because when I did ask Lonnie, hey, is the contact list going to include emails? He was like, I'm not sure. I'll ask. But if it is true that you can take this contact list and take it off social media, put it on like an email list and grow your list that way, oh, game over. Game over. Huge. I feel I feel like it may shake a little things up for fan base, but of course this is going to roll out. So that means that it's going to take a minute for everybody to have it, but they're saying everybody has it. At this moment, fan base, everybody has the chance to monetize right now. Regardless, if you have one follower, you have thousands of followers, you're able to do that. So I like what Instagram is doing, Moose, from a brand business side kind of vibes. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's of course from a big business, just thinking Instagram and Meta really quick, what they're doing is almost competitively scary, right? Because from a business standpoint, it's competition.
Yep.
They have the backing, they have the resources, obviously financially very well equipped to start taking over some of these areas. But the advantage here from a business standpoint that I think a lot of entrepreneurs need to pay attention to is centralizing the experience for your users, your customers, and your clients. Mm-hmm. What's happening now is they're noticing the trends of people building a following, and then because the platform doesn't really give major opportunities for the creators or other people to monetize, then the entrepreneurship instinct kicks in and people are finding ways to monetize, whether it be through events, through services, through other platforms, like you said, exclusive content, putting things behind a paywall. So what's that doing? Ultimately, it's taking people off the platform and going elsewhere. And we know that for these platforms like the Facebook, aka Meta, and Instagram and YouTube, that is the last thing that they want you to do. They don't want you to go from their platform or from one place to another place so that you can continue to consume or interact with the creator or someone whose things that you enjoy. So for them to centralize this, I think it's going to help them drastically from an overall experience standpoint, because everyone just has to go to one place and stay there for some of the things that they typically would have had to go elsewhere to get. So I think that's something that from just an overall strategic standpoint, we can echo that in our own experiences. I know for us, simply put, when we look at some of our programs and some of the things that we've had, we've noticed that there is less of a follow-through rate when we have people having to sign in from one portal to another portal to another portal to access some of the different resources. So anytime we centralize and we say, hey, if you log in here, you're going to get all of the things that are part of your subscription or your membership, there's usually a better retention rate, which as a business owner, that's got to be something that is super important for you, because I've always said retention is the number one thing that gets you out of the hamster wheel. Mm-hmm. Meaning that you don't have to keep waking up every single day to chase sales. It's not to say that you no longer have to innovate, because innovation is something that we always have to continue to do. But the better that you can retain your customers, the quicker you're able to get out of the hamster wheel and have a solid foundation in place. So I think it's really cool. obviously, like I said, with their resources and backing, they're competing at a very high level. The only question I would have for you, Nix, is when is it a good time for someone when they get access to this? Just because they get access to it, is that an automatic yes? Put that up and make it available for your audience? Or should there be some things that we're thinking about as people managing brands or businesses online to say, okay, I have the feature, but should I charge my audience for additional things or should I wait? Like, what's the recommendation here, you think?
So I think I'm big on monetizing the second you can. That doesn't necessarily mean that people will buy into it right away, but you have it available. And with a platform, if you are trying to grow a loyal following that is going to buy into the things you do, you got to provide the options. And people are aware, right? This is going to allow the people to be trained that they need to buy instead of just doing free, you know? So it's very interesting how we're going to now start seeing the importance of free content and a paywall. And I was having back and forth conversation when this was announced. Some people were like, oh, no one's going to pay for this. And I did a whole live about it. And people were like, what? We would pay for extra access. That means I'm more into your life. That means I'm more finding out more details, more tips, more motivation, more entertainment. Like I broke it down to even like for the podcast. What would that mean for the podcast if we did IG subscriptions and we could do our after shows right on the lives? We can show on stories who we're talking about, maybe as a glimpse into the different clips, getting polls to allow other people to let us know what the topics are going to be, and anybody who has a podcast, you could take the same model. I have no problem with that. People who, do entertainment or drawing, do a live drawing that at the end of the live gets gifted to one of the subscribers. On the stories, they have a chance to say what's going to be drawn next, or for people who do video editing, what's going to be edited next. It's about creating a different experience, and you could do that on day one. You could do it the second that you have the option to do it. Now, this is going to be a minute, right? They got 10 creators right now who have a crazy following. I think Lonnie has about over 500K on Instagram, right? But as they start opening up more and more, it's still not going to probably be available for everybody, I believe, until probably 6 months. I give it that. Probably 6 months till we start really seeing something. I think in 3 months, they'll start opening it up a little bit more. And then in 3 months after that, opening it up a little bit more. I don't really see it truly getting to everybody first. So you should start preparing if this is something that you want to add to, to your streams. Because this is just, and they said in the first year, we're not going to take out any fees. But
that's major.
But we also have to be aware that Apple takes 30% of everything. Yes, it's a sucky.
Even on Instagram platform.
Yeah.
Wow.
Any app that does in-app purchases, Apple takes 30%. It's been a ongoing battle for creators who do like any type of subscription base or any purchases or whatever, anything that's bought with an Apple phone, they get 30%.
Wow.
Which we should talk about one day. That is trash. But I do believe this IG subscription is going to be really good for creators, because on top of Instagram badges, for those people who don't know what that is, you get tips on live. And right now it's available for everybody who's over 10,000 followers. Majority of the things that I'm going to say are pretty much available for people with 10,000 followers. So that's why the subscription is very interesting, because it may be open for everybody. And they don't have to go to other platforms, which Instagram is very aware of. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Wow.
I like it. So if you're going to try it when it's available, let us know in the comments, in the reviews, if you're going to do IG subscriptions.